and welcome to Finnegan's Focus. I'm Representative Lynn Finnegan, and I represent the State House of Representatives District 32, which is Lower Pro Ridge, Aiea, through to Moanalua Gardens and a sliver of Kalihi. In the past couple shows, we've been having discussions having to do with education, and this show will also be about education, but more especially about the parents' role in education and what's going on in our education system on the local level. Today I have two parents with me. We'll be discussing a particular incident that happened at one of my schools in my district, an elementary school. And today we have Allison and Jennifer. Welcome to Finnegan's Focus.
Thank you.
Thanks. First of all, you know, one of the things that I talked about during the legislative session was, you know, the parental awareness, what's going on at the school, and parental control, and being able to decide what's appropriate for kids. Can you kind of get us up to speed on what particular incident happened at your school?
Sure. Well, on November 10th, a guidance counselor taught the entire 6th grade class a lesson on supposed to be bullying. That was the topic what it was supposed to be on, but instead she got into sexual bullying, and some of the topics included rape, abortion, late-term abortion, how it's performed, what is a sex slave, what is a prostitute, what is child pornography, what is child molestation, including anal and oral sex, topics of this nature that had nothing to do with bullying. Mm-hmm. And I found out through my daughter after not until November 25th. So this occurred on November 10th. On November 25th, one of the parents took it on their own and sent a letter home to every parent of the 6th grade class, telling them that there may have been some information shared with your child and should talk to your kids and see what happened. And so that's when we discussed it with our daughter. She was not able to really talk about it at all. It was very uncomfortable for her. So we asked her to write it down on a piece of paper, and we discussed that these are the things that she actually wrote down.
That must have been difficult for you as a mom to hear, especially now there's a divide between you and your daughter.
Yeah.
What did that feel like?
Horrible. It was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you've been dealing with this for 3 weeks and I didn't even know. And how horrible this what her mind was thinking, and just the different things that she must have been thinking about and dealing with this whole time without even being able to talk about it.
So from the
comfortable.
Yeah, very uncomfortable for her, and I'm sure you. So what's happening amongst the parents? What's happening amongst the discussion? What's happening right now?
Well, the parents are very upset because we still haven't been told exactly what was shared by an adult. All we know is what our kids tell us. And apparently the day it happened, a parent or two actually notified the principal immediately and begged for her to share it with everyone. And the principal said if the parents have a concern, they can come talk to the school, talk to us, and was not willing to share it with the parents. So I never found out till 3 weeks later, and I couldn't even deal. I mean, I didn't even know what my child was going through, you know? She had a huge paper that was due, like 20 pages, and I'm thinking that now that I think back, she must have had a real challenge dealing with some things, you know?
What were some of the, what were some of the signs that some of the other parents, you know, actually observed and realized that something was wrong?
Oh, well, when some of the parents said when they picked up their children, they were crying after school, got in the car, were upset, and their child immediately told them, Mom, you know, she talked about this, this, and this, and the parent turned around immediately, went back to the school and asked for a meeting with the principal immediately. And nothing was really done. And the PTO president found out because her son is a 6th grader, and some of the parents called her to see if she knew about it. And that's why we found out, actually, because she did it on her own to let us know. And I really appreciate that, you know. I would have never known until December 2nd. The principal finally did send a letter out letting us know there may have been some controversial information shared and we should talk to our kids about it.
Okay, and I'm sure that parents want to get down to the bottom of this, like what happened, what can we do, what's messed up, you know, how can we correct the situation? Allison, for you, you know, your your child is not in is not in 6th grade, but in kindergarten.
Right.
How did this affect you?
Well, like most of the parents at the school, I only found out about this incident the day that the letter was sent home. And, you know, I saw it all over the news and I had all of these questions and I was concerned, obviously, from my son's safety. It affected me in a way because I got this letter from the principal and it just raised more questions for me. I had a lot of questions. I was digging up the stories, trying to find the articles regarding this story, and it dawned on me that parents don't go to the media right off. They don't do that if their concerns are being addressed or if they feel like that there is a sense of collaboration with addressing their concerns. So, you know, I've been there now at the school for 4 months, 5 months. My son is a kindergartner. I'm a new parent to the school. And seeing parents that have been there for 7 years feeling unsafe or uncertain doesn't give me a sense of confidence. So it's really impacted me that way. I've seen how parents have struggled to get the information that was shared and not getting any of that. That worries me because we're protecting the investigation, we're protecting you know, the teacher that taught this class. We're protecting the administration that allowed this to go on unaddressed in some sense, I guess, you know. And there's no sense that we as parents have any right to protect our children or any avenue to take when we want to protect our children.
Yeah.
So it impacts me, and I think, you know, I feel like I have how many years ahead of me now? And we talk about wanting community and parents to support public schools, and yet here we are, and then we get kind of like pushed off saying, hey, you know, we're doing this, we'll take care of it, with no answers.
And no answers. And so is that the most frustrating part of the whole incident? Is the lack of information is kind of like what I'm getting as a theme overall, is lack of information.
The time the information was
delayed.
It was so delayed. I didn't get this information until 3 weeks after it happened. And you know, in the meantime, then I'm wondering, well, where was this person all this time? Was she on campus? Was my son exposed to her in some way? You know, when you don't have answers, it only causes you to ask more questions.
And so right now, what do you think the morale, the mood is at the school level for all of you? Because this particular school is actually known as being a really solid school, you know, for the community, has a lot of community participation and stuff. So I realize how difficult it must be for parents to speak up. But in the same breath, what makes you speak up? You know, what's the motivation?
Well, for me, it's because I feel like nobody has to make a decision, and therefore nobody has to be responsible. And I'm speaking up because it's just not okay. It can't continue that way. There's a real problem with that. What is that, a rule or a policy? I don't even know what to call it.